and keep motivating and inspiring young activists in your state.
Every year.
I wanted to take.
Kids have their licenses. It's so easy.
All right,
I wanted to take a few minutes of my time here and talk about activism because it's a word that I've heard kind of thrown around a little bit, and I think that everybody that showed up here today can consider themselves an activist in the state of Idaho. So thank you so much for coming out. Someone has told me, how do you get started in activism? And this is some advice I have for you, people that are interested in changing the world, because this is how it happens. People get motivated to change our laws. They say our elected officials are not doing enough to help us. In a lot of states, like the great state of Idaho, we have a citizens ballot initiative. That means if you want to write a law, you can write your own law and you can put it on the ballot and you can have the voters decide. You don't have to wait for the legislators here. Now that's a simplified version of it. I mean, it really does take thousands and thousands of hours, of volunteer hours, of paid hours, of legal advice. There's signature gatherers. There's a long process that has to happen. And of course, it takes an awful lot of money. Oregon recently has had some success with getting a measure on the ballot and only spending about $450,000. I don't have $500,000, and I know a lot of people don't have $500,000 in here. If you do, please come and see me. I've got some great organizations that would love to talk to you. But until then, I'm going to go back to activism. This is what I tell people to start. This week, I'd like you to go and call your mom, if you are lucky enough to have her still walking on this planet. If not, call your favorite aunt, call your grandma. And this is what I want you to say. I want you to say, Mom, I use marijuana, and I think it's a safer choice than alcohol or tobacco. Do you still love me? It doesn't matter even what she says. You have changed the world. You have broadened the horizon for some people. Now you just need to go out the door, and you just need to keep on doing that. To be a good activist, you need to be a good citizen. I want you to recycle. I want you to respect your neighbors. I want you to help people when you can. I want you to give to donations to charities that you believe in. Of course, I want you to vote. I need you to register. I need you to vote. I want you to be the best person you can be. I want you to be as nice as you can be. I want you to make it impossible for people to not like you. I want you to make it impossible for people to not love you. And then I want you to tell everyone that you feel comfortable with that you think it's time to end marijuana prohibition. And that's how we can change the minds and the hearts of those people that don't use cannabis. I don't use alcohol. I have no problem with going and cheering on Boise State and having alcohol there. I have no problem with the wonderful bars that are in this town and the great live music. And I would support your right to continue to consume alcohol if that's what you choose to do as an adult. But I also would like for the adults in this community, in this state, in this country, to be able to choose something else that is proven to be safer, that is proven to be a medical treatment in some cases, and it is time to end prohibition. Now, you don't have the choice to vote on prohibition this November. You don't, but you can help us legalize marijuana in the entire country, and I'm going to tell you how you can do that this November. 3 states, people, 3 states have done the hard work, spent the money, spent the thousands and thousands of hours it takes to get an initiative on the ballot. 3 states. 2 of those states you share 720 miles of border with. Washington is legalizing. They're voting to legalize for adults in their state. I-502. Oregon is voting to legalize for all adults, Measure 80. Colorado is voting to legalize marijuana by a constitutional amendment to their state constitution. That's Amendment 64. What I need you to do is go to your Facebook accounts if you have Facebook. If you're not into that, I want you to make a list of all the people that you know that live in the states of Washington, of Oregon, of Colorado. Maybe it's someone you used to work with. Maybe it's a relative, an old friend, someone you went to high school with. Call them up and you tell them, I need you to vote for me and 50 of my Idaho friends. You need to pass this legislation. The strongest message we can give to the federal government, 3 states up, 3 states legal. That's how we get it changed. That's how we change alcohol prohibition. That's how this is going to go down. So we need your help. All those campaigns need money. Some of them have volunteer things that you can do from your state, like call banks. I have some information on all 3 of those initiatives. If you want to come find me, I would love to get you that information. But we do need to send this message to the federal government, because the time of putting people in a cage for a plant is over. It's ridiculous. We cannot do that anymore. And we know that being behind bars might not be the worst thing that happens if you get arrested for a little bit of pot. If you have a drug conviction, that's on your employment information. That's in any custody hearings. They can use that against you in housing. There's a lot of ways you can be discriminated against. One of the most abhorrent things is taking away a student's financial aid for a drug conviction. That has to stop. We have to end prohibition to end the discrimination against cannabis consumers. And I need your help. So please do what you can. Get involved. Please support the states. Washington, I-502, Oregon, Measure 80, Colorado, Amendment 64. All 3 of these need to pass because we have to send a message to Washington. We are not putting up with this anymore. So please join me. My name's Karri Gallaugher. I have lots of friends on Facebook. You can find me there. If you like Twitter, you can find me at Cannabis Karri on Twitter. That's where I really let my hair down. And I'm also the news director for the Russ Belville show, RadicalRuss.com. We're on there Monday through Friday giving you information to the cannabis community about laws, about legislation, so that's another way that you can get tapped in. But most and foremost, I just want to say thank you for coming. Please, if you can, $1, $5, $20 in these buckets, and let's keep this festival going. Thank you, everyone.